Good morning. We're heading out to buy a carburetor. Edelbrock, to be specific. Come along with us. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Driving the Classics. My name is David Mayfield, and today we're doing something a little bit different. As I introduced in my last video of the Conroe Automotive Swap Meet that I posted last, I had mentioned that I am looking for used Edelbrock carburetors. Well, that's what we're doing today. I've got a gentleman that had contacted me, and I'll show the email on that. But he had contacted me, said he has got one. It is an Edelbrock 4-barrel 1405. So, as I mentioned before, that is the one that comes with the manual choke. So what I'm looking for is the 1405, 1406, 1407s possibly, but those are kind of where I'm trying to stay, the 600 CFM carburetors. And I am pulling them apart, rebuilding them, and cleaning them, and putting them back on the market for you to put them in your classic car and get those things back on the road. Anytime somebody gets rid of a carb, it's always for some reason and it's too dirty, or it's not working, or they just don't want to rebuild it, or don't know how to rebuild it. So that's what I do. I'm putting these pieces of machinery back on the road and where they deserve to be. Today we're heading to San Antonio to pick up one. It's fairly new, and the story behind this one is they have a 68 GTO that they're trying to get running, and they had this on there, and the gentleman who had it just was struggling with the choke. And this being a manual choke, he wanted an electric choke, which would be the 1406. So he bought a new one, and he's just getting rid of this one. And so we haven't really talked price yet, but I had on the ad where the price range that I'm looking for, and he seemed agreeable to that. So once we get there, we will we'll show the process.
All right, folks, just want to show you my ad here. I've got this on Craigslist. Edelbrock carburetors, cores wanted, 60 bucks, and got a few pictures here. And these are a number that I do have. If you look at this one right here, let's blow that up just a little bit. This is the one I've been working on to get it pretty clean, and it's getting there. This was one that I do have. It's in pretty good shape. It's not going to take a lot of work. And that picture is like a smaller picture, so it didn't come out right. But anyway, so we buy Edelbrock carburetors, cores $40 to $60. Paid depending on quality of the core, and looking for 1405, 1406, and 1411s, but I haven't run across many of those. So, but this is on Craigslist in New Braunfels, and I'm going to show that because that's where I'm at. Right now, I am pretty good on inventory. I've got a number just from this weekend. I picked up two more 1406s, and then just a core, just a air horn and body for another 1406. It just and some additional parts, and also picked those up for about $100 bucks for the whole thing. So, but that's also want to show this. I have this running on Marketplace right now, basically the same exact ad. You may be able to see that one a little better. That's the one that's real bad, but that's the one I've been working on first, and so it's getting really nice looking. Pretty much the same thing with Facebook Marketplace, a little wider market. I will pay shipping if it's a good enough deal. I'll take care of shipping on that. So anyway, I just wanted to show you the two ads that I'm running, and they are working, and I'm pretty stocked up right now. So I'm probably going to put these ads on hold until further notice. So anyway, that's my ads.
Well, it is a nasty day today. It is 39 degrees, rainy, cold, and I know People up in the north are just going to laugh at that. 39 degrees, that's warm. Well, yeah, it is. But anyway, it's wet and nasty and cold. I'm from Texas, and that's the story I'm sticking to. So anyway, we're almost to the location where I'm going to buy this carburetor at. Now, I don't know if he's going to want to be on the video or not, so we'll just see how it goes from there. But one of the things I did want to talk about is these. I mean, if you're in the car culture and you understand carburetors, and there's those who are in the car culture who would much rather have fuel injection rather than a carburetor, a manual carburetor. But I tell you what, the reason I like a carbureted system is, first of all, you don't have 8 or more injectors that you have to keep clean and keep maintained, and you don't ever know if you're ever getting a short. I mean, there's different steps you can go through to find out if your injectors are working, but it's just more complicated. So people look at these carburetors and go, oh, that's, if they've never really dealt with one, they're scared of them. They're afraid of them. Because fuel injection, when you have a fuel injection system, the computer takes care of it for you. And you don't have to do anything. But at the same time, you don't have much control over how that computer distributes fuel to your car. Whereas with a carburetor, you don't have real time, so you can't modify it or change the way it runs while you're driving. But there's a few things that you can do to modify it with just a few tweaks, with a few additions. For instance, changing out the metering rods to either a heavier or thicker metering rod, or changing the strength of the strength of the springs. You know, you want a stronger spring, it's not going to, or a lighter spring. It's going to give you, it's going to change your response time. And it has been proven, if you watch Roadkill's Garage, Engine Masters, I'm sorry. If you watch Roadkill's Engine Masters, there is an episode where they compare the tunability of a fuel injection system to the tunability of a carburetor, and they actually proved that the carburetor ran actually higher horsepower, higher torque, because it was able to be modified differently, so more than the fuel injection system. So I'm an old school guy. I know how to work on these. I know how to rebuild them. I know how they work. But I'm talking to those right now who may be afraid of a carburetor. Find somebody who knows them, who knows how to work on them, knows how they work, know how to tune them, know how to adjust them. And you will learn a lot from that person, and you will feel much better about a carbureted fuel system. Plus, a lot of people tell me, well, if we ever get an EMP attack, you won't be able to run a car with a computer. That's right. That's right. You don't have the computer to go out. So anyway, that's just my little take on carburetors, and I know as I go through these videos, you're gonna have there'll be more. There'll be more knowledge, more tech tips, things like that. But today, like I said, I'm going to go buy a Edelbrock carburetor, 1405 manual choke. So let's see how that goes. I am almost there. Well, we are here, and we will see how it goes. Well, I got it. It's very good condition, and I'll show it to you here. And it's Some of it's been taken apart already, but I have to hold it in front of my face where the camera is. So if you see it there, you know, Gettelbrock. See if you can see 14. Whoop. There we go. You may not be able to see it. 1405. It's in really good condition. Really clean. There's a couple of things that I'm gonna have to do with it, but I was happy with the amount. My ad I had on there. Oh, and by the way, he didn't want to be on the video, which I understand. I had no problem with that. Not everybody does, but real nice guy. But he said he was struggling with the choke on that. There is something I'm going to have to check out on it, but I just want to make sure. I want to get back to my workshop and see. But being as clean as it was and having as little use as it did, he had asked for 70 on it, and I'm okay with that. That's just, it's really, it's a lot less work that I'm going to have to do. And when I get back to my shop, I will show you one that I have been working on, and it was rough. Unfortunately, I've already done most of the work on it, so I didn't video it. And sometimes when you're doing these videos, you do things and completely forget. Oh, I should have filmed that. But we'll show that when we get back. So, but anyway, I have purchased another one, Gettelbrock 1405. Good condition, and just another unit to add to the inventory. So we'll head over to the shop right now and look and see what we have. All right, now that we're back in my shop, we can take a closer look at this Gettelbrock 4-barrel 1405 that I bought. Thought I got a pretty good deal on it. It was really clean. But one of the things that, and in this business, you're always going to learn a lesson. There's always lessons to be learned. When you get a little overexcited about a good deal. Okay, so remember what I had mentioned, that the seller was having some trouble with the choke? Well, I think I've figured it out. As I was looking at it, and I've already, and I'm sorry again, once again, I got home and dug into this and wanted to find out what was going on. Because once I got home, I started digging into this, trying to figure out what was going on, because the choke was a little tight. It wasn't loose like it should be. So I started looking at it, and little things will always mess up a deal sometimes. So, like I said, I've torn it apart. I've got the choke loose here. Let me turn it around here so you can see. So here's the choke, as you can see here, right there. And I've already taken it off of the rod. Pulled the rod out. Got the rod here. And as you can see, I had keep it in this little tray just to keep everything together so it doesn't roll off, because you got some really tiny parts. I mean, that's a little screw that, see if you can see that, that connects this bar to the connector rod. So anyway, as I was looking at this, I started noticing a little cracking right there on the housing, and it's completely flattened in, as you can see. Now, if you look at this other housing that I have right here, this is the same orifice, but look at it. It's got an insert, and it's completely clean. So somehow they either dropped this or they hammered it or something. I don't know what could have happened on it, but no biggie. That's lessons learned. So basically, this one here, I'll just replace this with this because everything else on this is really clean. The base is clean. All the butterfly are clean. I mean, everything is. I mean, you look inside. I don't know if you can see that, but that's also very clean. So I'm okay with it. This one that I was cleaning up was really in bad shape, and I'll post a picture of it because I did take a picture of it. But I've got this completely cleaned out. I mean, this looked like it had been in a lake. I mean, there's a little bit of rust still that I've got to get in there and get, but I may not even use this. I may just use this as spare parts because I've got one of the bolts broke off right here, if you can see, and I've got a jet that I've got to get out. Now, eventually I'll get that out, but in the meantime, I'm cleaning this up, and so I can just switch it for that because it's exactly the same part. So I have no problem doing that. But anyway, that's what's going on. I did get some extra parts in, so I've got metering rods, I got jets, I got springs. I've got all those. I've got some other the gaskets coming in hopefully this week, and so we can get on to starting to rebuild these. But again, always a learning experience. You never know. Always be careful of what you go by. Know your parts. And again, I know these. I know about them, but it was so clean that I just got overexcited and didn't take a closer look until I got home and then saw that. So when it comes to cleaning these, this one's not going to take much. But I've already cleaned it up just a tad, but it didn't take much. Like I said, this one that I had, it was bad. It was really, really rough. It's probably the roughest one. Let me show you. I've got one here. I already got it on my base to start working on it. But this one's pretty. I mean, it's not really bad. I mean, some of the fittings are rusted, as you can see. Some of the bolts are rusted. Some of the spacers are rusted, but we'll get that taken care of. I've really been able to clean those up. And if you can see this, I showed this on my last one just a little bit. Oh, this is my CLR bath. And I will tell you, this was like a bar rust, and I'll have a picture of that in just a second. But that's what was on this, and these were completely, I mean, the whole thing looked like it had been sitting in a lake for 10 years. Right now, I will soak the whole body in a mixture of 50-50 Pine Sol and water. Then all the rusted components I will put in this is straight CLR. So I'll put it in straight CLR and soak that for a while. As you can see, it's a lot darker. And then I've got a CLR with water, and then I'll have my drying thing, and then this is where I put everything. But you can see the difference in those colors of CLR there if you can. But this has really been helpful. I've got a bucket down there. I'm not going to show right now, but it's just got my mixture of Pine Sol and water. And I will soak the entire, because everybody says, well, don't do it because you'll mess up your gaskets. I'm going to replace everything. So I am soaking it real good for about 48 hours in the Pine Sol, and then I will scrub it. I've got a number of different wire brushes, got different hardnesses, wire brush, regular nylon brush, and so we do that. Now we're using the CLR, we're using the Pine Sol. So after we put it through that process, a video that I found on here, it was a simple video. It wasn't a creator with a lot of subscribers, but they had a really good suggestion that I have not seen anywhere else. Now, once all that's done and it's scrubbed down, everything's cleaned off, what they had suggested is Simple Green to shine these up. Now, I'm not plugging Simple Green. They're not my sponsor. They're nothing like that. But this stuff works like a charm, and that's what I used on this. And if you can see, these are very close to the same shininess, maybe? I don't know. So if you look at this is the new one that I bought, and this is the one that it looks like it had been in the lake for 10 years. And after the Pine Sol, after the CLR, I put the Simple Green on there, and they're almost the same. I can't, and that's why I'm going to be able to use this one on this one, because you're not going to be able to tell any difference. But I will suggest Simple Green. They're not a sponsor, but that's what you need to go with. Really. Anyway, that's what happens sometimes, the complications you have to put up with when doing these videos. So anyway, so that's a suggestion, and that's a free tip, and I would definitely use it. Anyway, so that's where we are right now. That's about it. So if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed already, I ask that you would subscribe. Hit that like button. That's one of the things that YouTube really looks at to judge where they want or how they want to distribute your video. And so it really helps out the channel. If you like it, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with people that you may know who love cars. And if you want to get an update every time we put a new video out, just ring that bell and you'll get notifications from YouTube and notifications in your email that a new video has come up. So again, I want to thank you. I'm not sure where this is going to go. We are looking at a car, but I'm not going to go into it right now because I'm not sure if it's going to work out. We were hoping to go look at it this weekend, but that didn't work out. So I'm going to see if we can sometime next week. It'll be interesting. It's not really what I was planning on doing, but if it's what I think it is, it might be a really good deal and a new little project. So stay tuned till the next time, and we'll see you. And I will always invite you to drive your passion. See you next time on Driving Classics.